everybody. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody.
We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Carbon, and today I'm coming at you with some Call of Duty Black Ops 4 news, man. This is some good news, kinda. I mean, it's based on your opinion, but to me, this is good news, man. Vahn says EMP grenades are scheduled for Blackout functionality to be determined, man. So, Treyarch's studio design director, David Vahn responded to a Reddit concept which asked for EMP grenades to return in Call of Duty Black Ops 4's Blackout mode. Now, EMP grenades would, in theory, give players the ability to temporarily disable vehicles, mesh mines, sight reticles, player mini-maps, and more. And then, however, Vahn says that the exact design of EMPs in Blackout has yet to be determined. Now, it does say, while I personally don't think the EMP should remove player names, I do think the EMP could be an interesting addition to Blackout. It's on the schedule, but a bit downstream and lower priority than some other things at the time of this writing, and like anything, subject to change. So it then says, so you all understand how this works, how I personally feel about it, and anything doesn't determine or guarantee how something will work. It's always a team effort. So it is important to note that this does not confirm EMP grenades are coming to Blackout. Rather, it's something that the team at Treyarch are interested in and have a possibility of happening. So this statement was made in the midst of significant changes being announced to other controversial Blackout equipment such as concussion and cluster grenades. Now, as far as what Treyarch says, is they have no plans to remove concussion grenades from Blackout, but they are still evaluating how to adjust it. Now, this information has been updated. Vahn has stated on Twitter that they are testing nerfs for clusters, concussion, and armor, but no info on what to expect. So one tweet here from Lord Vahn says, we are testing tuning changes or nerfs to concussion, cluster, and even armor. Stop yelling at me. He said, my favorite of these changes is that level 3 armor takes 2 shards to repair 1 pip of damage. I still believe level 3 armor has a home in Blackout, where we are going to keep looking for the sweet spot. Now, Treyarch studio design director basically took to Reddit to discuss with fans the studio's approach on how they plan to adjust concussion grenades in Call of Duty Blackout 4's mode Blackout. And then concussion grenades have a hot topic for Blackout players, as many players believe they are overpowered thanks to the limited ability to counter those if the player is not using the trophy system or reinforced perk in Blackout. But a user on Reddit asked why the concussion grenades in Blackout are all or nothing, and why doesn't the distance from which the grenade is from the player it impacts does not impact how much the grenade actually affects the player. And then Vahn stated that the all or nothing approach is because they want the player who threw the grenade to know that it hit a person. He does quote, they are all or nothing so that the attacker understands if he concussed something or not. If it was a variable length based or variable input of distance or attack angle or anything else, that could be easily determined, tossed over a small hill or a corner, etc. at all. But it would be unclear to the attacker if he concussed someone or not, and for how long. Because, you know, that is a big amount of information. That's why a lot of pro players even have, you know, those in most public matches, because just by throwing them, you can get a sense of, you know, map control and map awareness, because when you get that hit marker, you know somebody who's within the vicinity, or at least sight of that grenade, you know? And then I'm not arguing for or against a variable input onto the duration. You know, that might work, but that might or will cause other problems. And Treyarch says that they are debating the best way forward with concussions amongst many others. And we're just simply answering the question in the literal sense. But the answer and readability of the gameplay impact of concussing someone for both attacker and victim, this may not be the right length of time or any number of things, but exactly how long you concuss someone or how long you will be concussed, because just by hitting them with a concussion grenade that they not only do you know that they're there, but you've hit them with a concussion grenade and they're frozen for a certain amount of time. So the question is, from at a distance, how come if I'm 10 feet away, how come it does the same effect when I'm 20 feet away? Well, that's because the person throwing it, myself, I know that if I get that hit marker, no matter within that vicinity, is that they are frozen for that amount of time. Now, if they can figure out a way for us to, do a strength level of which we hit somebody with a throwable item, like a grenade or something, and it can tell us the amount, of damage through sound or visible cue, about how far away they are based on how much damage that item did, that's something we could find out. But Vahn followed up, when the user asked if his tweet was suggested that concussion grenades would be removed, and stated that Treyarch has no plans to remove the concussion grenades from Blackout. But they are evaluating everything. Like they want to tune everything. This is always a slippery slope, so you gotta walk it carefully. You already have 2 counters, the trophy system and the reinforced perk. You can also carry your own concussion for an attacker, and this does not invalid anyone's opinion or perspective. I'm just saying, you cannot argue with how someone feels. So I don't, and you feel how I feel. And in respect, if I didn't feel, I wouldn't be making a video about it. But I honestly think that they should just stay the way they are. If anything, they should just make more of an indicator of how far somebody is, and maybe they should lower the effect at people who are at much longer or higher distances, especially for like grenade damage and concussion impact, Like that's all stuff that we need to be asking about. And then with reinforced being a major tuning position with actual game data, from any perspective, it turns out that the majority of the victories are created because of a concussion grenade, and that's a fact. That's why people are angry, and the reinforced perk is spawning less than it should. So the average KD of concussion grenade players is above the trend line, or any number of data science backed evidence of the OP level, all according to Treyarch. And they will get nerfed at some point. It's safe to say that they're looking it all over, and it's going to happen. And then another user followed up by asking why the counters are not more effective in completely blocking off concussion grenades when it hits you, like the reinforced perk taking away its full effect. And then Vahn stated that having an all or nothing counter would cause users to not use the grenade itself and make the counters useless as well. Something Treyarch, doesn't want to do. If there is no concussion, I really don't care to use a trophy system or reinforced at the end of the game. I know I can pretty much dodge any other throwable unless they cook it or stick me, And then hard counters invalid both pieces of gameplay content. If you fully counter something, you can stop taking the thing that can be fully countered, and then you stop taking the counter. And then the gameplay type and style then ends up getting invalid entirely over time and removes depth from the game. So Vahn personally says he doesn't like that because the game, he does believe, is much richer with more than just straight gameplay. And then Vahn also went on to add, a remark in his reply stating that he understands that fans are asking for some adjustment, and basically confirmed that they are actively looking into how to balance everything, how to make everybody happy. As far as I'm concerned, everything's fine. But they have not decided on a final version or an adjustment yet. So as to your note about not being able to fight back, please understand that I get it, other people totally get it. No one's just going to jump on a decision on this yet because there are plenty of counters. It's quite a debate. And I hope you guys are ready to find out if the concussion grenades are even worth it anymore. You know, like, if they nerf it, are they going to be fun? I like my concussions because I know how to use them. But I also like only using reinforced in the time of, like, the end of the game. Not usually into a fight. So mid-game, somebody can throw a concussion at me, and that's it. That's it. But guys, as soon as the changes, you know, if anything more is confirmed, I'll let you guys know. I upload every single day. If you want to know more about Call of Duty, I'm your guy. If you want to get better at Blackout, I'm also your guy. Guys, hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what I did wrong in this gameplay, let me know what you think about the concussions. Until next time, guys, peace.
We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody.
We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the party, flyer than everybody. We show up in the party.
We show up in the